I want to talk to you first about the potential boycott of the Oscars. You know Will Smith very well. You go back to The Pursuit of Happiness. You worked on that together. He and his wife have been very vocal about boycotting the Oscars because they feel there's racism in Hollywood and it should be dealt with. People should stand up. You worked within the industry. You were a senior vice president of Columbia Pictures. So I figured you'd be the right one to know if indeed racism is alive and well in Hollywood. And if so, how bad is it?
Yeah, I wish I could report that it wasn't, and I wish I could report that Hollywood is colorblind. I did a piece in the Hollywood Reporter about a week ago, and I said it shouldn't be Oscars so white. Unfortunately, if I was writing a book, it would be Hollywood so white, because the reality is I was in the studio system for over 10 years. And when you look at the studio system, the agency system, the management system, all of the higher ranks, there's no diversity. And I think we have to have systems in place, not only for recruitment, but for retention, incubation, and ascension. You know, there have been times as an executive where I was mistaken for a bathroom attendant. And if I didn't have people that were higher than me that mentored me, you know, like Elizabeth Cantillon or Ange Giannetti or Doug Belgrad, if I didn't have people at the top who saw potential and helped me through, I would have never made it. So it is a complex problem. It's solvable, but it requires a long-term solution, and it also requires finances to help fund these initiatives.
So do you think that boycotting the Oscars would go a long way to initiating that solution, to getting people off their asses?
I think here's the thing. People usually don't make change until they're forced to, unfortunately. So I think an idea of like boycotting the Oscars and bringing attention to this, my hope is that it won't just stop at a boycott, that there will be enough publicity around this that we can take that as momentum to affect really long-lasting change in Hollywood, because it has to happen.
It's so interesting because when you saw the SAG Awards, there were so many people of color who were nominated and won.
Right, but that's peer-to-peer. And the Academy is not necessarily peer-to-peer, and there are a lot of, you know, members that are older, and it's not very diverse at all. So when you look at the nominees and how it works, it doesn't necessarily reflect the diversity of the Academy, whereas SAG tends to be a little more diverse in its ranks, and also because it's peer-to-peer, there tends to be a desire to make sure that we are nominated.
Yeah, and Meagan, you've been in 30-plus films, so a lot of people look at you and go, well, this woman has not experienced racism. It seems she works a lot, but have you?
Absolutely, absolutely. There are at least 3 times that come to mind right now where I was told flat out, you know, that I couldn't have the lead because I was Black, where they just said, listen, you're great, like, we love you, we'd love to give you the lead, but, you know, this movie's gonna go overseas and you guys don't sell well there, so we're gonna give you the best friend part and we're gonna beef it up.
You guys meaning people of color don't sell well.
Yeah. It's very much alive. I mean, at the same token, you know, by the grace of God, in the last 2 or 3 years, I think there has been a major shift in diversity for TV, and I've been able to be a part of that shift, so that's amazing. But the fact that it's just now something that's happening, I'm thankful for it. But, you know, it's interesting because it's just now happening where it's a conversation about so much diversity last year and more people of different, you know, nationalities this year. It shouldn't have to be a conversation, but I'm glad that it is. And that
at least it's that, but you're right. It's been going on for a long time, the conversation.
Right.
So, yeah.